Network is a 1976 film directed by Sydney Lumet about a fictional television station called UBS that gets an unexpected ratings boost when one of its anchors promises to commit suicide on live television. The film won 4 Academy Awards and stars Faye Dunaway, William Holden, Peter Finch, and Robert Duvall, and features Wesley Addy, Ned Beatty, and Beatrice Straight, who won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. In this video, I want to share some perspectives I got out of the film. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video and leave a comment and check out the link in the description. At the beginning of the film, we see the people working behind the scenes of the show. Everybody looks bored, but the moment that Howard Beale, played by Peter Finch, promises to kill himself on television, he gets everybody's attention. This scene describes the transition from news to sensationalism because Howard Beale's falling ratings get a big boost after he announces his suicide on live television. Even today, anything that's sensational or sexy from a news standpoint of being controversial goes into a 24-hour cycle where everything else is ignored for the sake of that one news item. When these types of news events occur, they play on every news channel and are beaten to death until the next big news event takes its place. Pre-suicide Howard Beale represents traditional straight down the line news, and after he makes up his mind to commit suicide, he becomes born again and becomes the spokesman of society's popular rage and the champion of the individual. Max, played by William Holden, breaks the news to Howard that they have to take him off the air. Howard, though, has second thoughts now that his show is gaining in popularity. He believes that he has a divine calling and that he speaks for the people. Beale gives an incredible speech, and when he finishes, he passes out as if unplugged from a power source. This scene represents idealism and how the media caters its content to viewers' preferences. Like politicians, the media tells us exactly what we want to hear, that we are important, that we matter, that we are individuals. But behind the scenes, the people who supply what we see on television only care about money. A good example of a company combining propaganda and advertising is the National Rifle Association and their position on the Second Amendment of the Constitution. At the same time, the NRA gets most of its money from the gun industry and individuals. So the positions the NRA takes on Americans' constitutional rights to bear arms benefit the gun manufacturers that give them money. It's ironic that the film makes a comparison between how society responds to real news and how society responds to spectacle. Again, a commentary on how entertainment has dumbed down an American society that prefers titillation to rational thinking. For example, Diana points out that when Beale said the word shit on the air, the show's ratings and his popularity went up by 5 points. And now the biggest newspapers in the country are lavishing free press on the television station because of Howard Beale's unpredictable behavior instead of the actual news content of the show itself. Although Howard is stirring the people up on righteous issues, the attention seems to be more on how he delivers that message rather than on the message itself. One of the most powerful and well-designed scenes from the movie is the one with the famous line, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Howard Beale urges his viewers to get mad about the ills affecting their lives. To add more drama to this scene, he arrives at the studio soaking wet after getting caught in the rain. There's also thunder rumbling in the background. All around the country, people are opening their windows and screaming at the top of their lungs. A revolution has begun. This scene confirms that Beale has his finger on the popular pulse, and that popularity translates into higher ratings and higher ad revenues for the TV station. Emotion, particularly rage, is used as a catalyst in this scene to get people to behave a certain way. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore becomes a marketing slogan. Howard Beale becomes an overnight success. Max is fired and Diana, the programming director, takes over Howard Beale's show. She and Hackett, played by Robert Duvall, who's a high-ranking executive with the company, only see dollar signs, but Max believes that Howard needs medical help. It is ironic that the news division, is being merged with the entertainment department. It looks a lot like the news networks today, in my opinion, which explains why they're struggling to stay relevant. In another scene, Max tells his wife that he is in an affair with Diana. By leaving his wife, though, Max is ending his relationship with a flesh and blood human being to be with a humanoid. And it is ironic that Diana is the TV station programmer because everything she sees involves a plot, from her relationship with Max to the shows she puts on. This scene makes me think of the way social networks like Facebook are digitizing the way we interact with each other. Even our emotions are being digitized, like, for instance, typing LOL in the place of real laughter. Friends have been reduced to followers and not actual human beings that you really care about, and the only value they serve is making us seem more important and popular in the eyes of others who spend inordinate amounts of time sharing every detail of their personal lives, from what they are eating, where they are vacationing, what sex they're changing to, etc. This scene also shows the contrast between Louise, who acts human, and Diana, who acts like a robot. Television has become our religion. It tells us when and how to love our mothers, how and when to go into debt, how to dress, how to talk, who we should follow, who we should fear, who should lead us. Television tells us how to feel about ourselves. It tells us who we should look like. It tells us where to go. It tells us what is and what is not socially acceptable. Howard stands in front of a stained glass window and urges everyone to turn off their TVs. His speech in this particular clip describes Diana, who has become so obsessed with television that the make-believe world and the real world are one and the same. In another scene, Diana meets with her team to develop a reality television show called the Mao Zedong Hour, and focusing it on a group of bank robbers called the Ecumenical Liberation Army. The group is modeled after the Symbionese Liberation Army that kidnapped Paddy Hearst in 1974. There is a very funny scene in which this group and its Paddy Hearst lookalike hostage and a black woman who has a large afro and who is the spitting image of Angela Davis are arguing over their TV contracts. This scene suggests that even revolutions can be manufactured by television. Howard, later in the film, he goes on TV to tell viewers about the buyout of the TV station by a consortium of banks and insurance companies that are fronting for Arab investors. Up to this point in the movie, Howard Beale has been treated as a novelty, but by him telling the public that America is being sold to Arabs, he has now become a dangerous liability. Now the men behind the scenes want Howard off the air after he screws up the buyout. But how much U.S. debt and assets are currently held by Saudi Arabia? It's ironic that in this movie, Arabs are trying to buy an American company that's in debt. And also in real life, the Arabs hold a significant amount of U.S. debt and other assets that they have recently threatened to dump to discourage Congress from passing a bill making them liable for any role that they played in 9/11. The chairman of CCA, played by Ned Beatty, explains the corporate cosmology to Howard Beale. Howard's show is upsetting the natural order of things, and he's given a new message to deliver to his audience. The new message is this: that the real world is not about people or democracy. The real world is about money. The entire world, according to this chairman, is just one big business ran by giant cartels, such as oil, drugs, banking, and media. And in this ecosystem of money, people are as replaceable as cigarette lighters. After this meeting, Howard Beale goes on TV with the message that the CCA chairman gave him. The message that the individual is finished and that television is turning society into humanoids. This new message, though, causes the ratings of his show to drop. Max finally leaves Diana after a short, empty affair. Diana has become one with television, unable to feel anything from or give anything to Max that is human. Howard Beale is killed by the Ecumenical Liberation Army on live television in a scene that turns murder into entertainment. Beale's assassination kicks off the new season for another television show. The final images of the film is a collage of TV commercials drowning out the news of Howard Beale's murder. When Howard Beale was told the truth and delivered that truth to his viewers, causing the show's ratings to fall, he was killed. The message here is that people do not want to be told that they are powerless, that they aren't individuals, and that they are replaceable parts in a global economy. Throughout history, men have been discredited and have even lost their lives for speaking the truth. To name a few: Martin Luther King Jr., Louis Farrakhan, Galileo, Jesus Christ, Socrates, and John Brown, just to name a few. Thanks for watching this video. I would appreciate it if you would like it and leave a comment, and also follow the link in the description to my movie blog, where you could read about more films that I have covered, such as the film that I covered today. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.